Yes guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to the brand new Volkswagen Tayron. You want to call it Tayron, but you can't. It's called the Tayron. And again, Volkswagen have invited me along for 2 hours, or actually for the whole day, but you get around 2 hours of each car to test drive this car. Now this is a boss. It's a big boss, but not the biggest boss. The final boss is of course a car we've had on the channel, the VW, I always say this word wrong, but I'm going to try, Touareg or Touareg, depending on how your mouth works. And that is the big boss for Volkswagen. Now you then have this. This sits just above the Tiguan and it's their second biggest SUV. Now, Volkswagen are number one when it comes to selling cars and everything like that. It's their number one, and the reason being is because there is so many options, whether it's engine variants or whether it's just models. There are loads throughout the range, and I want to use the word unfortunately, but I probably shouldn't be. Unfortunately, I'm in a 1.5 today, and the only cars that are available are 1.5s today. You've got your 1.5 and you have the plug-in hybrids. And the plug-in hybrids, which this car unfortunately isn't, I could go and get one, but I just like the paintwork on this. The plug-in hybrids, listen to this. The plug-in hybrids offer you around 75 miles. The average commute to work is around 30 miles, which means you probably only need to charge it 2-3 times a week. And with that and the engine combined, you're getting around 560 miles out of your hybrid. And it's not a diesel. There is a diesel variant, but it's not a diesel. And this ultraviolet metallic color looks absolutely stunning. It's definitely a bit of meat. It looks a bit blue and a little bit of purple just mixed together. That's what that hand signal looks horrible. Let me not do that. I don't know what it is, whether it's the contour, whether it's the shape. Again, I don't know what those two words mean, but what I can say is that the front end looks very, very similar to the front end of a Range Rover, but front end of a Range Rover doesn't have this. Look at this. It's got the illuminated light bar across the front as per usual, but the badge also lights up when the lights are on. We spoke a lot about options and variants, and there is, I believe, quite a few wheel options, but these are the 20-inch wheels. Personally, because it's an SUV, I always tend to find that the wheels look tiny. Like, look at that. That is a 20-inch wheel in that arch, but there is so much because of course you need a lot of clearance, because this is the sort of place you should be bringing your SUV to. And if you're not and you're just using it on the road, you're wasting it, because this, maybe not this because it's the front wheel version, but these definitely can handle it. So around the back you can also see we've got the light bar and the badge lights up as well. This Volkswagen new era of car, they really know what they're doing, trying to make things look futuristic with the little light bar and all of these fancy lights, because you can also tailor the lights to how you want them. You can't physically change them, but you can physically change the animation that happens when you lock and unlock the car. And with this little knob down here, which not only does your volume, I could turn the volume up and turn the volume down. No copyright, that was news. And when you press it, the same knob turns into a driver experience switch, and you can switch between eco, comfort, sport and individual. And again, this is the front wheel drive version, not being the four wheel drive version today. And it does a very good job of keeping you safe. Now it also, and this might be a reason why you can't hear the engine so much, it also has this thick insulated glass. I've never done that before, and I don't know why I reached for the windscreen instead of the glass there. It's solid. It's almost as if I'm wearing noise cancelling headphones. And now in terms of driving this car, visibility is spot on. You're sat in a really nice position, heated seats if needed. You've got this amazing front end. It just shouts R. In R as in like not awe, it is had me in awe, but it shouts R. When you get in an R spec car from Volkswagen, whether it's the R line or their actual Volkswagen R cars, the interior is definitely a step above the standard, and I believe there are 5 trim models. As mentioned, Volkswagen give you variants for days, and it's not an engine you're going to want to rush home to write about, because it's got around 150 horsepower and 250 newton meters of torque, but it feels very punchy on the road, enough to overtake on a motorway. Just don't try and overtake a Lambo or something. Talking all things space, as you can see, with the seats folded down, it turns into a 5-seater, and there is tons of space. but literally pulling that up and back, same as this side, pulling that up, we now have our 7-seater. And what's quite cool is that the middle bench can actually go forward and back to give you more space, because the leg space is half decent. Let's be honest, guys, that is half a decent leg space. And even with the middle bench in this position, you have loads of space. But if you needed more, hand under there and push it back, and there you have it. Even more space. In terms of space then, let's give it to it. It definitely does that. And again, you got this fancy trickery pokery here. Check that out. Not only do you have somewhere to place your cups, you've even got a little guide here for your iPad. They've thought things through. And while we are in the back, you also get this fancy technology, which means you no longer need those cheap Halford blinds at the back. You got something here that looks a lot more neater and a lot more prestige. But what isn't prestige is that this spec doesn't have the heated seats. And if you did opt for the highest spec, you'd have heated seats over here as well, or down here. I'm not too sure where to put it, but it'd be either there or there. Now, something that is also important to note is that the dynamic chassis control isn't on all models. Even though this is an R-Line, it is not on all models. You're also missing things like a pan roof. So it's tricky, because when you normally spec a high spec car, you'd assume that it'd have every single option ticked. Nah, bruv. If you want those options, you are going to have to spend the cash. So pan roof and dynamic chassis control, in my opinion, is a must on an SUV. Remember, it's a car you want to throw the kids in and go on long trips with. And that extra light is definitely something you'd want. And now into the business parts of things. Starting off over here, you can see we have this. And I know it's embarrassing to focus on this, but some SUVs don't come with this button, and this button is a game changer. Pressing it opens up your boot, and if you, I don't know if it works with the engine off, if you hold it, it usually shuts, but it's not doing that because the engine's not on. Let me show you, just so you know I'm not waffling. Right. See, ignition on, and hold it. There we go. Watch, it's closing. Can you see it? It's closed. There you go. That is a game changer. Some cars don't have that. And for somebody owning an SUV, you definitely want that feature, because it just makes things easier, because you're going to fill up your boot and your hands sometimes are probably going to be full. That's a win-win. And when you do come in from carrying that heavy load, these lovely comfortable seats, which are very supportive, I must add, when throwing this car into a corner, you can switch this on and you've got massage seats. Can you see that? Massage chair. And it gets better, because it is a new car, but look, steering wheel is for humans. You don't have these fancy touchscreen buttons or touch haptic, whatever it's called. You've got physical buttons which do the job. Amazing. Good job. Good job. And this obviously controls this. This controls your sound and, of course, your cruise control. And look at that for a cluster. Crystal sharp. And look at this for infotainment. You have either a 12 or a 15 option. This has the 15-inch screen, which is probably the one you want to go for, because it just matches the car. Imagine this big car with a little iPad. Don't cheap out. Get the big option. And despite this car being 4.8 meters long, it actually doesn't feel that way when driving and when parking it. This car is good. This car is so good, I should call it Terry, because Terry is the name of a top guy. So yes, guys, there you have it. That is our first drive of the brand new Volkswagen Tayron. It is a raw video, and I promise you I will get the car at a later date to do a more in-depth review and give you guys a bit more information about how it is to live with it. If you have enjoyed the video, please smash the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, and I'll see all of your beautiful faces in the next one. Take care and God bless.